everybody. I'm Jim Andre, your host, and my co-host Bradley Powers. You're watching Out of the Box podcast, and today's special guest is Vic Makaroff. How are we all doing tonight?
Howdy.
Vic Makaroff is a Viking. He probably was in a previous life. Yes, and welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's nice to have you on board, Vic.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah. What are your gifts and your attributes?
Huh?
What are your gifts and your attributes?
What are my gifts and my attributes? Well, people know I'm basically experiencing what's called oneness, which is the highest state of Christ consciousness. My attributes are for humanity. My attributes are for the well-being and the steadfastness of humanity. And that's about it. I'm of a good essence, primarily. I dislike any form of what we refer to as narcissism, any mentalities of negative nature. I have a natural body reaction to it. I dislike all forms of negativity. Basically, I just strive to be a better person with knowledge and myself.
Yes, absolutely. You're an all-rounder. You're an out-of-the-box thinker. Truth seeker and light worker extraordinaire.
A critical thinker, yes. A critical thinker.
I can apply labels within my journey and whatnot. In my process, my personal evolution, but that's here or there. I just strive to be a better person and help humanity on the whole. That's all.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good attitude, actually. Good attitude, yeah. Help humanity. They need helping.
Yeah, man.
Agree. Help. And if you help others without expecting a reward, that's how you seek a teacher.
My reward is actually helping others.
Yeah.
I get personal gains from that by helping others. That's it.
Yeah. And today we're talking about good versus evil. So what's your concept, Jim?
Good versus evil. Well, any energy has to have a ground, and the ground is the negativity. And for any energy to be utilized, no matter what frequency it is or what the energy is itself, the only way you can utilize that energy and for it to mean anything would have to have a ground. And unfortunately, that ground is the negativity that we speak of, or the difference we see in the polarities being good and evil. But without the evil, without the ground, there can be no utilized energy.
But there's also positive forms of energy can be grounded as well.
Yes, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. In order for that positive energy to be utilized, it has to be grounded.
Right.
Without the ground, it's meaningless. In other words, one can't exist without the other.
Well, yeah, there is a great thing of duality.
Well, it's duality, yeah, but there's no separation. They both have to work together in perfect unison. They can't be separated. If they're separated, there's no utilization for either one.
Yeah, but one can strive to be better than the other.
You see, you need both polarities, right? A positive and a negative to feed off each other. But when they connect directly, that's when you get resistance. And when you have that resistance, when they go head to head, that resistance causes chaos. But that's just the way this realm is set up. And the energy that moves us, you have both the negative and the positive. You can't separate them.
Yeah, but within that we have choice. We have free will.
If you separated the good from the bad, they'd both be useless.
Yeah, but within that we have choice and free will as well. We can actually make a choice.
Well, that's different. That's different. We're existing by that particular energy providing the ability to exist. And what we do with it is at a conscious level that we can decide what to do with it personally.
Right. Right.
But the energy itself it does the same thing. It feeds off one another. They got to feed off each other to be there to begin with. There can be no positive without a negative, no negative without a positive. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, well, there are stories through history, human history, say, where negative did exist without positive for a long time. Positive then came in and intervened, and then it changed the polarity, as you say, to a positive form of nature.
You gotta have both. Can't have one without the other. Just like you can't have light without darkness.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's an interesting concept. It's an interesting story. It's an interesting idea. It's a really cool idea.
And lots of times darkness itself gets a bad rap because they associate darkness with negativity and evil. And of course,
No. That's a misconception. It's
wait
a
a minute.
complete misconception.
A lot of individuals associate darkness with negativity. And another reason is they're afraid because they don't know what may lurk within.
Yeah.
So there's a certain fear factor there. But
absolutely.
But you got to take into consideration that everything that comes into the light is created from within the darkness, right?
Yeah, to come to the light, you must go through the dark.
Right. I was in the darkness of the womb for 9 months before I traveled down a tunnel and into the light.
Right.
All the sustenance and the trees that grow that provide our oxygen through the photosynthesis process, and all the sustenance that the earth grows for our survival, grows out of the darkness of the ground and into the light.
Right. Even
Before-
even the imagery of this sloth who has a head of a bird, that's Egyptian mysticism.
Before-
The same thing, where the bird pulls the stuff out of the dark, comes into the light.
Right.
Right. It's
So
the same thing.
and then after a long day's work, you're exhausted, right? You come home, you want to get some rest, turn the lights down low, shut your eyes, and you what? Slip into the tranquility of darkness and wake up feeling refreshed the next day.
Yep. No. I understand that. I agree with that.
So you know what I do? You have darkness here and light here. I travel a path straight down the middle, acknowledge, respect both, but worship neither.
Yep. You have to, man. You have to accept both, man. The reality is you have to accept both. I agree with that.
And that's the same thing with positive and negative, good and evil. It's all the same. One cannot exist without the other.
Yeah, hi there. Thank you everybody for joining us. We're talking about good versus evil. Okay. I just both some shout outs to Robert E. Farley, Julianne Guthrie Smolson, Gary Smith. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you near us. Mike Swaj, it's very good. See ya. Thank you. Good versus evil topic. What's your thoughts on good versus evil? Good versus evil creates energy. Energy creates lush, and God loves lush.
Yeah, you can't have energy without some sort of friction.
Yeah, but there is a thing where you move from beyond duality and become singular as well. It's a higher form of Christ consciousness, where you move from this sense of duality and you form what's called a singular. It's a higher form of Christ consciousness. You're removing yourself from this
but that's a duality.
balance and imbalance. Yeah,
that's a duality within a singularity. There's no separation.
Yeah, but it's an evolution of it, though. It's a progression.
Well, like I've always said, we always debate the laws of man, the laws of God, but there's another set of laws we often overlook, and that's the laws of nature itself.
Yeah, but we're all part of it. I don't understand why people overlook this stuff. Why they think we're greater or better or less or more. We're all part of it. It's part of us.
We're no better than anything else around us.
Yeah, man. We're part of the whole greater equation within the universe.
See, man has got that attitude that he's king of the hill, you know, and that he's at the top of the food chain and all that. He's got this attitude that the earth belongs to him, when in reality, man belongs to the earth.
We in essence, we are from the earth. If you take the biblical context, we were created from the dust, from the dirt, so to speak, from earth itself. Even that concept suggests we're from nature, or we're part of nature.
Of course, we're from nature.
Yeah,
we got all the elements and chemicals that the earth has in the ground. We got sodium.
So what's this separation people have then?
iron.
They're greater or lesser? Well, where does that come from?
I mean, our genetic makeup, our DNA has got all the elements that the earth has.
Yeah, man. The relevance with this number 7, the 7 elements and the 7 chakras, it's all part of this.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
There is no
the whole concept.
There is no separation.
There's not, man. I agree with you. I agree with you. It's a misconceived idea.
You know, and then they go on to put icons behind the positive and the negative, God and the devil, that separates. But there is no separation. That's one of the biggest misconceptions of religion there ever was. And the reason why they separate it is to cause friction amongst us. It's called divide and conquer. They use religion as a fear tool to instill fear into everybody.
Yeah.
Why? Because they want control.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. The English through history used this concept themselves against the Irish primarily, the divide and conquer. You can even still see it with the Northern Ireland and Ireland itself. It's this whole divide and conquer. And then the basis of that was the religion factor, the religious factor. One's a Protestant, one's a Catholic or something from memory. It's a form of divide and conquer. I agree with you. But it's a human construct. It's a human construct.
Right. That's everything. It's all in how we conceive it.
Yeah, man. It's human
everybody is in search for the truth, but the answer to that is there is no one truth. There are many truths. Yeah, and the truth is what each individual perceives as being their truth.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
There is no one truth. Every man's reality is different than the next guy's.
Yeah, that's your truth, though. That's your truth. Your experiences. Yeah, it's your truth. There's no right or wrong. I agree with you. But your truth is your reality. I understand that. I accept that. But within that, yeah, I agree with you also. There has to be other concepts you have to consider, other ideas.
Well, yeah. There are many ideas. That's why there's so many different truths.
Yeah, behind every truth, there may sometimes the truth that you discover is a distraction for the hidden truth.
Yeah, man, and that will go to people's control factor, what they want to enforce on humanity, society. You know, the 1%ers, if you may, then doing their own thing again. The concept of religion.
The only thing that's hidden is the thousands of concepts that we are unable to validate. That's what's
and within. Yeah, we've got to find this mentality where one grasps for a certain aspect is wrong.
So
you've got to look at all possibilities.
So enlighten us, Bradley. You say the hidden truth. Where would you find that?
It could come to you spiritually. It could come to you from angels of God frequency.
But that's your own personal experience and your own personal truth. But
it could come to you. Truth? You could know without knowing.
Where is there one truth under the whole umbrella?
I'll go there. The occult, the oracle, the esoteric library. A lot of truths were actually carved in stone, written on clay tablets instead of written in a book.
Yeah, that could be considered as societal truths as well.
Yeah.
Could be. Could be.
Well, society is what controls you.
Yeah, man. But for eons before, they would either put it on claystone or they'd form a way to show generations going on. Their forms of truth.
Truth is, the majority are controlled by the minority. That's the truth. That's
Well,
a fact. That's
the
a
one
fact.
percenters, if you call them, yeah, man. Yeah, man. And they within themselves have their own agendas, man. They're not for society. They're not for the people and the mass. They're their own agendas.
Our history is a lie. Our history was written by the victors.
But they would also be writing it from their perception, from their way of at the time. The way their society was running, set up, instigated. From that, there was a progression within society itself. It then evolved. It then became sort of this and that, and comes to what we are now, living in this technological world of ours, in this realm of some would call a holographic world within a physical state.
Well, you know what causes all the turmoil is man considers himself intelligence, right? And that intelligence that he thinks he has, breeds ignorance. And that's been a fact throughout history, okay? Because every great society throughout history that has risen has fallen. And our current day society is not going to be any different.
Yeah, they talk about that with the American system as well, how it's going to collapse on itself soon.
Well, the American system, unbeknownst to most, we've been ruled right along by the British Crown.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even realize that.
So what of the Tea Party theory then?
Well, the Tea Party, that was just like, that was the beginning of smoke screens and mirrors. It's been smoke screens and mirrors right along.
Holographic.
You know, that's why Washington, the capital of the United States, is considered Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia. Okay, so you have a country with 50 United States, but yet Washington, the capital of those 50 United States, is a territory different than the states.
Yeah, cool. I thought it meant something else.
And that's because we're under the rule of the British Crown, always have been.
And it's so-called the river bank because it's called the river bank because that's where you used to bank your money at the river bank. You would hide your money in the river because no one would ever think of it now.
That's a play on words. That's like all subliminal stuff.
You know, that's what they should do. It's what's called the river bank. And I got in fact, I don't know who's asking that question. Yeah.
That's why currency.
Yeah.
That's why currency and banks were formed to begin with. You see, because they realized that with currency, those who had the most money had the most power, and those who have the most power have the most control.
Right, legal tender.
Yes, Gary Smith says, why has only 5% of our DNA been accounted for? They're saying the rest of our DNA is junk DNA they don't understand. And it's because it's from extraterrestrial genealogists, other intelligent life forms that are in genealogists. That's what the junk DNA relates to.
Yeah.
Reptilians. Ooh.
Yeah, I won't say what I call them, but anyway. I can't say it on this podcast.
You see them societies back then, right? You had kings and all that. You had kingdoms. If the people got fed up with the rulings of the kingdom, right, they could rise up and overthrow the kingdom, see? But now, today, you can't do that. The way they designed everything. Where's the kingdom? What's your target? You have no target. You have an invisible target that's spread
That happened.
worldwide. You
What
have
you're
an
talking
invisible
about,
target that's spread worldwide. So how do you even really rise up if you wanted to, and how do you really address your grievances?
Well, there was many ways through history. England created what's called the Magna Carta. That was an understanding apparently to subdue the lords, or the lords against the king or something. Then there was a constitution, which gave people more power, freedoms. Apparently,
yeah, but as you can see, as of late, them freedoms have been slowly been
yeah. No, I
encroached
understand. That's why I
encroached
said
upon.
apparently.
They've
Yeah,
been
that's why I said
encroached upon, right?
yeah.
Now the 1%, right? For those that have no idea who the 1% is, it starts with the Vatican. All right, the Vatican is actually a country of itself, very small one. It happens to be one of the richest country in the world.
Yeah, by
which
geographic
has,
and population.
which has more money than God, pardon the pun, right?
Yeah.
So they have the power because they have the most money. They're the ones that are in control. That's the head of the 1%. Okay, then it trickles down to the royals, in Europe, the kings and queens and the blue bloods, and then from there it trickles down to certain world leaders who are being pulled by puppet strings, and the big corporations. That's the 1%. The ones with the most money have the most power, and are the ones who are in control.
You see, you're suggesting it's just a human concept. This royalty and all that, and the 1%.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's those who had great minds. In other words, you got to give them credit because they had great minds and foresight. They started the Illuminati, I believe it was in 1776. And they've slowly worked on that up until this point now.
Yeah.
Where people don't even realize it. That's how good they are. What they do.
But if you do universal studies, this is not just a human concept. In many alien species, there's also forms of royalty as well. It's not just a human concept. It seems to be, from my understanding, a universal concept as well. Where they have a form of what we refer to as royalty.
The only thing that separates the royals from the peasants is how much money they possess.
I understand that. I agree with that. But it's not just a human concept, though. My understanding is it's a universal concept. All forms go through this process of evolution.
Well, that's what you're taught. Yeah, I mean, through religion, there's all kinds of royalty and there's higher ups and all that.
I'm talking galactically. I'm talking universally. All species now, including humanity. They go through this, one form or another. They go through this sort of stuff as well. And there's many documented cases where actual alien species have their forms of royalty, and then the same principle here, where they're of a higher status and their beings are of a lower status.
Well, you have to have a levels of status in order to maintain a society, a successful society, but not the way these guys are doing it here on this planet.
No. There's Agenda 30 and there's One World Order and all this garbage. It's just nonsense. It's just sheer crap. Sheer and utter crap.
We have actually someone's saying Gary Smith is saying all of the US presidents except one have a bloodline tie to the first King of England, King John I.
True. That's true. That is true.
Yeah. So that shows you they've always been in control, and still are till this day.
And King John imposed himself on the throne, mind you, right? When Richard the Lionheart was in fighting the Crusades.
Yeah, was he a good king?
Well,
yeah, I don't think he was he? Richard the Lionheart.
Yeah, nah. He imposed himself because Richard the Lionheart was away fighting the Crusades.
Dedrick Hilton, thank you for joining us, says Obama and Bush are actually cousins.
No, wouldn't surprise me.
They're all one big clique at them higher political levels.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Or isn't the our Facebook? I've got you. Yeah, Obama and Bush are cousins. Yeah, very good point.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. CIOs in the Vatican wouldn't surprise me at all.
All government bodies are corrupt. Always
Yeah,
have
man.
been.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All bodies are corrupt.
You know, you got good and evil, and of course, today we can see a big imbalance between the both. It's going,
Absolutely.
it's way too far on the negative side. But let's put it this way: here's a good question. If they become successful in their agenda of creating a new world order and eliminating 95% of the world population, once all is said and done, if they're successful in that area, would it be a good thing or a bad thing? At that point in time, everything would be automatically reset, right? And you wouldn't have the turmoil that you have today. Am I right?
Yeah, but then that institute laws and
the only
whatnot,
thing
and all the
is,
laws that will be corruptible again.
the only thing is the way they can achieve that is at the expense of the 95%. But once all is said and done, wouldn't you consider that a better world to live in at that point?
Not if it's against 95% of the people.
Would you consider that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bad thing, man. If it's killing 90% of the population, it's a bad thing, man. It's at the expense of humanity.
Yeah, but then at that point, you'd be saying, well, they did a bad thing. But from that point on, wouldn't the world be a better place to live in?
Well, that would be another form of evolution, I guess.
Right. And be another start, a refreshing start, be more of a positive balance than a negative.
What says who?
You know, everything is natural because nature has a way of creating, producing, sustaining, destroying, and rejuvenating itself. And all this is just part of the process. Man is just as much a part of nature as everything else around him.
I understand that, but that's an abuse. That can't be good. How can that be good?
Well, that's nature, though. How can a tsunami wiping out 250,000 people at one time be good?
We're talking about this one world order. We're talking about this one world order agenda.
It's right? Nature, though. It's nature. We're nature. So who are we to say whether it's good or bad? We're just a part of nature. Man.
Nah,
in other words, the 1% wouldn't be any different than a natural occurrence within nature itself, like that tsunami wiping out 250,000 people. What's the difference?
But that's humans bending laws of nature to suit themselves. That's not part of. That's something off. Something different off.
No. The only reason why that's because we're able to. We're a higher intelligence level, see, and we're able to think that's all concepts that we have, but we're still a part of nature. We're still a part of nature, you know.
It doesn't resonate.
Whether 1 or 5% eliminate 95% or not, it's still nature.
It doesn't resonate, Dave.
And it's no different than a tsunami or an earthquake or
what we're talking about is Holocaust. That's a Holocaust, really. 95%.
Yeah, that doesn't resonate. It's good.
Not nature. It's instigated by man, not nature. Nature is instigated by man, though. 91%.
What other possibility is there for a reset?
What
other options are there?
Yeah, a global reset, a natural reset. Maybe a comet hitting that could cause the reset.
So what would be the difference, though?
Right, it'll knock out most of the population.
That's my point. But my point is, it's all nature, including us. So what would be the difference whether it's a comet that wipes out 95% of the world population or the 1%?
That's nature doing its course, universal
And man,
nature.
so now
But
you're
you're-
separating man from nature when you say that.
Yeah, but
Now
you're
separating us from
no,
nature.
no. You're describing Holocaust. I agree with Bradley here. You're describing Holocaust. That's a
Well,
perversion.
it wouldn't be the first one, and it probably wouldn't be the last.
No, I understand that, but that's not part of nature itself.
Well,
I'd like
man
to share something
well, man
from the
can't be part
forum.
of nature then.
Huh?
Yeah, Dedrick
No,
Hilton.
it's his concept.
Well, man can't be part of nature then, if that's what you're saying.
If he's part of nature, right, he
We're
wouldn't be
above
doing it
nature.
except in
What are
that
you saying?
concept.
We're above nature. That's our problem. That's the attitude we have, and that's
That's
where
our attitude, not
that's where we lack
nature's
common
attitude.
sense.
Yeah, that's human's attitude. That's not accepting the
Right.
fact that we're
And
part
the
of
human
nature.
is just as much a part of nature as everything is. Just like that, he's just as natural as that tsunami that wiped out 250,000.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but no, it doesn't resonate. I can't agree with that. The
No, I
concept
don't
of
agree.
knocking
I
out
don't agree
humanity.
with what they're. Listen, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. I don't agree with what they're doing.
Yeah, man. I
But
can't agree with that. It doesn't resonate. I can't agree with
but you
it.
gotta understand it is what it is.
It can't be what it is, man. They can't accept the fact.
Well, you can't accept it, but you see it happening, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing. And the sad part is, nothing can be done about it.
Dedrick
Yeah.
Hilton says more government is never good. Humanity needs a reset for a higher consciousness and seeing the value in each other. The plan is to create a World War III from that to stage a fake alien invasion, which will unite all nations to create a new world order. Thank you, Dedrick.
See, I don't get his comments. I don't get his comments on this side.
Yeah, I got it all, Jim. Dedrick Hilton says nature is a natural. When man creates weapons and situations, that's not nature, that's deviant, sinister. Okay.
Yeah, I don't get his comments either. So, yeah.
Yeah, hi, Donny Randall. Thank you for joining. Yeah, we're rocking in the forum as well. Yeah. Robert E. Farley says 5D consciousness is what we should see. Gary Smith says that he thinks ascension has already begun. Gary Smith. Yeah, and good versus evil rubbing together creates energy, and energy is lush, and the gods feed on lush, they love it. All demons and devils and gods and goddesses feed on lush.
Yeah, they have a way of feeding off our energy, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, because
absolutely.
On a daily basis we manifest energy.
Yeah, man.
And energy is the currency of the universe.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. And without both polarities, there would be no universe.
Yeah.
Both of them polarities feed off each other to generate the friction needed.
Yeah. On a personal level, you have a choice, though, which polarity you choose to go and form. So.
Yeah, but that's still within itself as a concept, because something can happen that one group would consider evil and another group would view it as maybe not so evil.
Yeah, but it's a concept I adhere to, man. Yeah, it's a concept I adhere to, man. I prefer the positivity compared to the negativity. In the physical state, in the esoterical state, in the spiritual state.
It all depends on how you view things, from what angle you look at it.
Yeah, but when you reach this state, you then view things from a different level anyway.
Most people see a rainy day as being gloomy. I view it as liquid sunshine. It all depends how you look at
it. I understand. I agree with you.
Some people, how are they going to endorse this 95% wipeout, and it's possibly they may use the vaccine as a aid to help them to manifest this Holocaust.
Any forms of negativity will use any methods to apply their negative energies, whether it be in the physical state, in the esoteric state, or the spiritual state. They'll use all forms of weaponry, as you may call it, any form to enhance their situation, their position.
Robert E. Farley says evil wants to keep our vibrations down. They try to stop good energy from the source center of the universe.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I agree.
Hi there, Donny. Donny Loffrey. Hi there, Donny.
What the universe is everything. The universe is the experience in itself. You got man, you got millions of other species, you've got stars, you've got galaxies, you've got solar systems, you got planets, it's the universe experiencing itself in a gazillion different ways all at one time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
The cosmos, you can see the universe, the moon, the stars, the sun, the planets. However, the cosmos is what you can't see: sound, frequency, and vibration.
Yeah, but you can experience it, though.
Yeah.
You can experience it, though. That's our way of seeing.
Sound, frequency, and vibration is what moves you.
Yeah, man. Well, you experience it. That's a way of seeing.
Yeah, and it's easier to read someone. Well, it can be for some. I read people's sound, frequency, and vibration. Their essence, what you do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, though that's what God is, in essence, an energy source that makes all things possible.
True seeing is not just seeing with your eyes; it's actually seeing with yourself, within yourself. There are
God is a universal consciousness, because the key to existence is awareness, and without consciousness, existence is meaningless.
Yeah, but within that form of awareness, the awareness is just not done from physical aspects; it's done from internal aspects, from your essence as well. You see, like with a third eye, for example, or ESP, heightened senses. That's another form of seeing, experiencing.
Well, different people experience different things in different ways.
Yeah, man, I understand that.
You know, they say that we're made in God's image. God is all things, so therefore God must be all things, the good, the bad, and the ugly, just like we are.
And Dedrick Hilton says, if someone don't believe in God, are they not conscious too? Jake Barnaby Leclerc says, wide shoulder pulled down and petrol fly, fresh seated bench.
I don't understand that.
Oh, one Facebook user says, Jim, 100% right. I don't know who that is, though.
Yeah.
One Facebook user is saying, how about the body and animals producing their own aura?
Mm.
Everyone has an aura. Yeah, animals too, I remember. Yeah. Animals have souls.
I believe they do.
I've seen occasions of pets, dogs. Often they die. Seen them. Who's that saying that then?
Says Facebook user on my end.
Robert E. Farley, that is. Robert E. Farley, thank you for sharing that with us. I believe we sign contracts with Source to learn certain lessons. Sometimes we're the victim or sometimes on the evil one. It's to learn lessons for soul to evolve. Is it possible that we sign the Book of Life in the Akashic Records Library, overseen by the overlords of the manor Trimentus beings? Is that possible?
Yeah. There's another concept here where they're called soul contracts.
Yeah.
So So you sign soul contracts, and there's three generally perceived types of soul contracts: a good, a negative, and a neutral. Now, it depends on your previous life, your past life. It's depending then on and the contracts are signed by a soul family, soul mate. And the concept goes that then, depending on your previous life, is then the depending on your physical state, in reality, what you're going to experience. So if you're bad in your past life, you'll experience negativity. If you're a good person, you'll experience positivity.
Well, yeah,
if you're
that's
here or there,
that's karma. What goes around comes around.
Yeah, but they're actually referred to as soul contracts as well. That determines your way of what happens to you here in your physical state, physical reality.
Donnie Randall says, Bradley Powers, do you plan to leave the world behind? I don't plan on reincarnating immediately. When I cross over, instead of heading for the light, I'm going to turn around, face the cosmos, look at it in its entirety. I'm going to look the other way, and I'm going to say, I wish to return to my soul family, and so it shall be done. Some say the light, the divine light you head for, is where your family and relatives are, is a soul trap.
Yeah, it's a soul trap. I've heard that.
And we all have a soul family. We maybe have forgotten. Gary Smith says he's going left instead of into the light. Look behind you, Gary. Look the other way. Face the cosmos in its entirety.
Why left?
Dedrick Hilton says, my goal for 2024 is to be a beacon of righteous, positive energy and try to create more positive, healthy relationships with people. Thank you for sharing that, Dedrick.
Good luck with that, Dedrick. That must be Gary. He says no to the left. Then you get to venture the universe.
Gary, yeah, that's Gary Smith. To the left. I look behind you.
Life is a journey to be experienced and not a problem to be solved.
Yeah. It's part of our evolutionary process, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, most says who's that? Most of us are star seeds. Yeah, it says it's possible. It's possible we were orbs created by all beings using the will of God before we actually become a spirit.
We always have, and always will be a form of energy. That's what it's all about.
Man.
The energy, that energy source is infinite. That's the only thing that's infinite. Anything else within nature, one law of nature is nothing lasts forever. That's why everything is a recycling process.
I was reading actually something interesting
from day
today.
and night, seasons to lifetimes.
Yeah. I was reading something interesting before the show, actually. This concept of star seeds was created in 1927, from memory, by a fellow. From that formulated the idea of star seeds they're suggesting now. From that, he's experiencing what most people now are experiencing. He had visions and astral travel and whatnot. But the first concept was actually in a book about 19, written by some bloke in 19, where he suggested the idea of star seeds. Just so I'll throw that in.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
I've actually got it. Where is it? Where am I?
Yeah, everything is a recycling process, just like all the food we eat, right? We digest it, We digest it, we let it out, and it goes back into the earth from where it came.
Yeah,
And man is no different. He's just on a higher level, but goes through the same process. He's at a higher, more complex level, but it's all the same.
Star seeds. Religion.
Desmond Hilton says, I see it all being on me, not the other person. Whatever happens, I will develop more self-growth and higher consciousness with positive change. Yes, that's a positive attitude, Desmond. Gary Smith says, how do you guys feel about actually grounding yourself to the earth? Take your trainers off, take your shoes off, walk on the grass, walk on the beach, walk in the water. That's how you ground yourself. And it feels good too, because you're in tune with Mother Gaia and you can feel her energy.
Yeah, that's where we go to. That's where we return when we leave here. Everything we see above the ground came from the earth, and nothing lasts forever. It's all going to end up back in the ground and in nature's never-ending recycling process. Because nothing lasts forever, that's nature's way of compensating for that.
Yeah.
Well, I've got 10 minutes left, so Rob, answer, please. Feel free to ask us any questions in the chat forum.
Yep.
Quite a few viewers tonight.
Cool.
They come to
What I
see
like
the
is
bike.
what I like is the interaction.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I do. I agree. I like it as well.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if they had a phone number set up where callers could call in.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That's interesting as well. I've seen podcasts where they do that actually, in different forums.
Yeah, I don't know how they do. I don't know how they do that though. You'd have to get the right software, I guess.
Yep.
I have something to say. Karina Mullane, thank you for sharing. Human will conquer physics and we will become the magicians of the universe like aliens. Ooh.
Aliens are just on a higher form of evolution, higher realm, higher density. They can then look down on us like we look upon us like we look upon the second and first dimension on Earth, whether they're animals or tree or plant life. A lot of aliens have actually progressed from the physical reality, their forms of physical reality in evolution. And they're more of an etheric sort of being.
Yeah, so what benefit would something like that be for everyone that's at a lower level?
To advance to a higher state.
Purpose of life is to seek ascension. To
form a higher state.
You're gonna ascend to the level of a god, right? And not only does man have wars, but gods have wars. Throughout history, gods have been at wars with each other. So if you're going to ascend to the level of being a god and still be ignorant enough to participate in wars, what good is ascension to begin with?
Well, not all gods are at war, only some. You know what I mean? Some are malicious gods, as you've got malicious people. You've got narcissist gods as well.
So no matter what level you ascend to, there's malicious, there's negativity, there's wars. So my question would be, what good is the ascension? Now, ascension is good. Wait a minute. Ascension is good for somebody ascension is good for someone on a personal level, but not for as a collective. It never will be.
Yeah,
If
but
you don't seek
there's some
ascension,
beings. There's known some beings that cannot ascend because of the negativity. They then transfer this into technologies. They cannot. They've moved away from the God source, the God essence.
Well,
if
Practicing
we
God,
don't
negativity.
seek ascension,
war is ignorance in my book, in my eyes.
Absolutely.
So
Well,
even if
no
gods
one.
go to wars
war
with
is
each
good
other,
for business.
there's still
War is
ignorance
good
no
for
matter
business.
how far you ascend, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
man. But that's what I'm saying to you. Some beings cannot ascend because they're practicing negativity.
Well,
They
why
function in this war
why,
aspect.
why are they considered gods then?
Well, because their technology at the time when they
Because it's
approached
all up
humanity
here.
was
Exactly. It's
severe.
all up here. God didn't create man. Man created the concept
Yeah.
of God.
And their conception when they came to Earth was of a God. That's the way they could describe it only at the time. Because of their forms of technology and stuff. Their abilities were beyond the humans at the time.
If you don't seek ascension, then you will reincarnate back into this world when you cross over.
You say that with conviction, and how are you so sure of that?
The occult says that words of power, words of wisdom. Manipulated like the Bible. Esoteric information.
From where?
You will come back if you don't seek
From what?
ascension.
From what? Esoteric information from what source?
From the occult.
And you trust the occult?
Absolutely, yeah. It hasn't been heavily manipulated like the Bible. Karina Mullane says, God is a gamer. We are in mathematical universe. Donny Godfrey says, they will do away with all religions with implants, the beast. Thank you for sharing that, guys. Donny.
The rapture. The bloody rapture. Here we go.
More like rupture.
We've got like 5 minutes left, so we have a show together.
At that point in time, it won't be the rapture; it'll be the rupture.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I just didn't.
Blondie sang with a song called Rapture. Have you heard of Blondie? Julie Ann Guthrie Smolson says, it's a choice of beings to choose evil over good and good over evil. It's a choice.
Yeah, man.
Joanne Stewart says, I don't know where all these psychics that say they can project the future, well, they're not doing a very good job. Philosophy is a form of psychic. Well,
she has a point, though, in all fairness.
Karina Mullane says, what is the big attractor? Where are we going? Where are we going? We're on the road to nowhere.
We're approaching the end. That birth is the beginning of the end.
And death is the beginning.
Donny Godfrey says there will be some people left. The choice. We are free moral agents.
Yeah, the ones that'll be left are the 1%.
Yeah, man. Who are, in theory, who are aligning themselves with this Satan creature or this devil creature.
Yeah, they'll give themselves the credit of resetting the balance to make it a better place to live in.
Nations pay homage to Baphomet. And Lucifer is the grand architecture of the sky, so to say. In a free movement. They are wise men.
So exactly what is God himself in control of?
Heaven. Apparently, some say that Jesus Christ is not actually in heaven, so you won't get to see him. He's in a star that shines down and beams down upon heaven.
You know, newsflash, we're all in heaven. We're on a planet hurtling through the heavens. All you got to do is look up and see all the stars.
Well, I believe we're here. You create your own heaven or hell.
That's right.
Yeah.
during the
God,
course of a natural lifetime, if you live long enough, you experience the very effects of a heaven and a hell right here on earth.
yeah, man. That's physical reality, physical state of reality, a form of evolution.
Donny Sloffrey
Oh.
says the world will not recover. And like, you know, it's debatable, isn't it? Everything we say is debatable. Thank you, everybody. We come to the hour now. I thank everybody for joining us. Thank you to Vic Makaroff, experienced sir, general manager of Extraterrestrial Group, a legend in the making, and Jim Andre, alien abductee, and Quantum Healer, a legend in the making.
I'm only project manager, Bradley. I'm only project manager. Don't elevate me yet.
No, I
I'd like to thank everybody for joining us and for the interaction. And we'll see you all on the next one.
Peace, man.
Thank you.